Hi, welcome to class. My name is Steve Willis and I will be your instructor. And I'm creating this video as a way to welcome you to class, to introduce myself, and to give you some tips to help you be successful in this class. Now, in order for us to be better acquainted, here's your first assignment. I'd like for you to post a profile picture of you. Not your kids, not your significant other, but post a profile picture of yourself on your Blackboard profile. Pictures will help us to learn faces and equate that with our names and help us feel a stronger sense of community. At any rate, if you'll post a picture, I know I would appreciate it, and I'm sure other students would as well. So let's continue. I realize that for some of you, you've taken online courses through Blackboard before, and for others of you, this may be your first time, and perhaps you're feeling a bit anxious about that. However, don't worry, don't despair. If you do have a problem or you reach a hard time, please reach out to me. I'm big on communication. However, to get started, all you simply do is go to the National Park website. You then click on Blackboard, and you go to My Blackboard, and from there you click, of course, on the class that is in question. In this case, the Introduction to Sociology. However, this class, or I should say this video, is also applicable to the other class that I teach, Social Problems. Here it's pretty easy to navigate. If you look here on the left-hand side, you'll see that we're already on the home page. A syllabus is available here. And then the course content. For instance, you can click on a syllabus and pull it up from here, but if you go to Begin here, you'll see this video. There's no need for you to click on this one because you're already watching it. The syllabus for here. This is communication netiquette guidelines. It's just basically guidelines for how we communicate with each other online. Keep in mind this is an academic pursuit, so during discussion boards and so forth, please don't get upset with each other, or you're welcome to challenge each other and disagree with one another, but let's be nice about it. Feedback and response time. I would prefer that any emails you send to me come to my primary account, which is revlasvegas@gmail.com. If you will send emails there, I generally respond within 2 hours and sometimes right away. If you send to the NPC email or even through Blackboard, then keep in mind I may need more time to be able to respond. So if you're looking for an immediate response, please send to my primary email account. You may have already realized that I live in Las Vegas. I no longer live in Hot Springs. I used to. And so please keep in mind that because I am 2 hours behind you, that could make calling me an issue. You're welcome to call my cell phone, but please keep in mind that I am 2 hours behind you. So if it is 8 a.m. where you are, it is still 6 a.m. where I am. I enjoy teaching. I've been doing this for over 5 years now and really enjoy that. I used to serve as the senior pastor of First Christian Church there on Central Avenue in Hot Springs. And while I was in Hot Springs, I also served as the board president and the person who opened the Safe Haven shelter for homeless women and children. However, it's my understanding that Safe Haven has now become something else. I was also the former class president and board member for Leadership Hot Springs. I was board member for the Salvation Army and the advisory board member for Arkansas Hospice. So in addition to my work at the church and the teaching that I've done at National Park, I remain very busy, and I feel that it's very important to give back to the community. Here in Las Vegas, not only am I pastor of a fairly large church, certainly bigger than the one I had in Hot Springs, but I teach generally 3 classes during the fall and spring and 1 class during the summer. I also donate more than 20 hours of my time as a volunteer chaplain to the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. So please, when we get to the part of community service, which is indeed a part of this class, I'm only asking for 4 hours. Please don't tell me that you're too busy or your class schedule prohibits that or your time with family. I'm only asking for 4 hours during the entire semester, and we'll get to that further into the class. There is a syllabus quiz. The syllabus quiz will close when the first exam opens. So please, at some point, once you've gone through this video and reviewed your syllabus very carefully, please take the syllabus quiz. It's worth only 5 points, but when you've got only a total of 125 points for the whole semester, 5 points can make the difference between a letter grade. Here are options to improve your grade. And so if by chance you happen to make a low score on an exam, or you, God forbid, miss an exam, there is an option here to replace that missed exam. However, it's not something to be counted on. It's something that you should refer to only if you really get into a bind. And then there are resources for community service if you're looking for ways or places to serve. Although, as I mentioned, Safe Haven is no longer an option. It's listed here, but no longer an option as a community service location. And then once you've completed your community service, you just email me the information from the form or from the form itself, whatever is easier for you. But let's go to the syllabus for a second and realize that lots of information is here. I'm happy for you to call me if need be or to email me. We can either Skype or, because I use an iPhone, you're also welcome to FaceTime with me by appointment. Standard syllabus, I'm sure you've seen ones that look very much like this, that talk about the method and the exams, etc., the community service component. Again, only 4 hours for the entire semester. You can break that up if you want to and do 1 hour for 4 weeks, or you could do 2 hours every other week, or you could do just 4 hours all in one shot and get it over with, whatever your desire. Keep in mind there are only 125 points possible for this class, 5 points for the syllabus quiz, a total of 100 points between 5 exams at 20 points each, 10 points you get for your community service, and discussion forum participation is worth 10 points. However, keep in mind, you won't know what your points are for discussion forums until the end of the semester. So if you see a discussion forum, it would behoove you to be a part of that. There is a rubric at the end, the last page of this syllabus, for more information about how to do well and how to make get the most points out of your discussion forums. Class participation. I realize this is an online class. I'm not asking you to register your attendance. I can do that because I'm able to check and see how often you have logged into the class and how much time that you spend. That's important for me to mention because sometimes students will say, well, I don't understand. I logged in and I couldn't find the test and that's why I missed it. Well, then in some cases I've been able to go in and say, no, you haven't logged in more than a week or 2 weeks. And you didn't find the test because you didn't log in. And so that's the problem. It wasn't something on my end. So just participate. This is I can assure you a lot less time on your part because it's an online class than it would be if we were meeting face-to-face. You simply need to read the text material, watch the videos, etc. I'll explain more about that in a moment. I also have a Facebook group. If you'd like to be a part of the Facebook group, you simply copy and paste this address if you're a Facebook user. This is optional. You do not have to be a part of the Facebook group. However, those who are may be privy to a little more information about this class than you would otherwise. However, again, if you choose not to be a part of the Facebook group, you can still do quite well. Cell phone policy doesn't apply in this class. Student outcomes, academic honesty. I'm good with you using your book when we take exams. I'll tell you that up front. And I hesitate to say that because my experience has been that if you know it's an open book test, then sometimes students don't read the material prior to, and you've only got so much time. The exams are timed, And generally it's 90 minutes to do 40 questions, which I think is more than adequate if you are prepared to take the exam. The questions are true and false and multiple choice for the most part. And so 90 minutes should be plenty of time if you have read the material prior to and you've watched the videos. The only thing I ask is that you do not, during your exam, use any sort of electronic media. In other words, don't be Googling on your phone while you're taking the exam. I'll have to take you on your word about that, but that is part of our academic honesty policy, and hope that you all will practice academic integrity. Then we've got the outcomes, of course, the ADA statement for students with disabilities. The attendance policy doesn't really apply to an online class. However, to be successful in this class, you really need to log in at least 2 times a week, preferably more, and post something. Don't just log in and log out and say, well, I did my part. That really is going to require more than that. So take a look at those things. You've got the schedule that you can read on your own. This was the discussion rubric that I had mentioned. Again, you can read that on your own, and I encourage you to do so. And so we go back to Blackboard and to my Blackboard and to the class. I want to walk you through a little bit of the course content. The first thing that happens, and I guess we already went through that as the begin here, but then Module 1. What I've done is broken this class up into 5 different modules, and each module will appear during that particular time frame during the semester. So we'll start, of course, with Module 1. There's an overview. We're doing modules 1 through 10 in your book, which include chapters 1, 2, and half of chapter 3, at least for this particular class. It's different for social problems. That would be full chapters 1, 2, and 3. The module readings, they're, in my opinion, rather light for a college-level class. For instance, it's pages 3 through 64. It's only 61 pages, at least for the intro class, during this whole time, and so, or at least this whole first module. So that's not much to ask for, in my opinion, for a college-level class. There are self-assessments that I've pointed to, and self-quizzes. It's a good idea to review the key terms and review those sections during this self-assessment prior to taking the exam. There are videos for you to watch that I have included here. For instance, just the ones that you watch prior to the exam are some of the key terms that we're dealing with in this chapter. Since we're not meeting face-to-face and I don't have a chance to really explain to you, the ins and outs of sociological research, for instance, I've provided a video that you can watch to give you that information. Same thing with culture, ethnocentrism, for instance, and so on. So I encourage you to look at that. In addition to the videos, there are discussion boards that are to be done, again, prior to Exam 1. It is not enough. It is certainly not sufficient for you to log in the day of the exam and think that you're going to be able to contribute to discussion boards and then take the exam and that's it. Discussion boards are designed to be about discussion. They're designed to engage with other students and myself, because I'll contribute to discussion boards as well. Challenge each other, talk about different things, and recognize that these are issues that we need to have a deeper understanding of if we want to be successful. I also have PowerPoints that are here for chapters 1, 2, and 3 in this instance, and all you do is simply click on the file and you can review the notes from the PowerPoints just like you would if you were in class. And so yes, you can print out the PowerPoints if you want and include in your notes when you take the exam if you think that would be helpful. Keep in mind, if you want to print PowerPoint notes, you don't have to do 1 page per slide. You can put 3, 6, 9, or I think even 12 slides on 1 page to save paper. So keep that as an option. So I think that's pretty well explains everything. Again, if you have questions, please let me know. I'm big on communication. And so if you have a problem, if you're not getting something, if you're struggling, please reach out to me. Otherwise, I have no idea how to help you. So I appreciate your participation in this class. I'm glad that you're here, and your success is my priority. And so I hope that it'll be a priority of yours as well. Let me know how I can help you. Thanks.